be talking about the premieres of 2 shows today. The first one is going to be the second half of Once Upon a Time second season, which was episode 10 of season 2, The Cricket Game, and also the season 3 premiere of Lost Girl, which was very disappointing. But let's talk about Once Upon a Time first, because I actually have some things to say. Overall, this wasn't a bad episode, but it was just so many things about this episode, both frustrate me and, make me keep watching it, because I love Cora as a villain. She's funny, she's witty. The whole line towards the end of, who'd you kill? I don't know, I just got here. She's perfect. I really love her as a character, how she tries to psychologically break down Regina, even though Regina is my favorite character on the show. Just really interesting because she so wants that codependent relationship between her and her child, and the lengths of which she's going to go in order to make Regina, feel so weak about herself that she's going to run back to her mother. I feel like that's really interesting, and that is one of the main storylines that keeping me watching the show. Because otherwise, I don't give a crap about so many people. Emma, this episode, Emma is fine. My problem with Emma is more how she's written very blandly, not so much who she is. I think that for the most part she means well, although the last line with I'm his mother just pisses me off, because adoption is horrible on this show. They really do not get it, because they're trying so hard to be the whole fairy tale, biological parent, good, stepmother, evil thing, but Regina's not, Henry's stepmother. She's not, that character, and using her in that way and using that relationship with the dynamic is just unsavory, because it's a totally different situation than the Snow White incident with Regina being Snow White's stepmother. That it's not the same thing, and when I try to use it the same way, it's just kind of annoying because it just sounds like a smack in the face to adoptive kind of parents. Not so much to say that Regina is a great parent. That's not what I think is the argument. The thing is that they always want to demean the relationship between Regina and Henry as if it doesn't matter because she's not his biological mother. And I think for all of Regina's faults, and I definitely think that she has faults, and I do think that she should have, there should be dual custody between her and the Charming family. As horrible as she is, she loves Henry. Has she done, indirectly things that have harmed Henry? Probably, but she has not meant to hurt him. She loves him. Even Archie said, last season, she would hurt anyone else but before Henry. She loves her son. And their relationship being demeaned is one of the most unsavory parts of this show. That being said, I am interested to see how they're going to move this whole plot with her. The Charmings themselves, I could really give two shits about them. One of my big flaws with the Charmings, especially Snow herself, is how saccharine sweet she is written. I mean, she's so good that I feel like the writers don't know what the hell they're doing with her. They've been doing this since season 1, with the whole backstory with her and Regina. They refuse to give Snow any sort of darkness to make you understand why Regina would hate her. It was Snow White's pure and innocent, blah, blah. And what bothers me about this is, in the actual Grimm's version of Snow White, which is what this is based on, because Disney's Snow White is based on that Snow White. Snow White is not this completely good character. I mean, she has flaws. She's vain. That's one of the reasons why she gets tricked by the witch 3 times, and she wants to enhance her beauty. That's one of the things that brought up about her is she is vain. She thinks of herself too well. She's not perfect, And even in the end of Snow White, she's lets a stepmother get not burned, but she lets her dance on these hot shoes until she dies. And so that's why when I'm watching this and her trying to be all nice, I want to forgive you, I want to be nice, and I was like, girl, stop. Literally the whole time I was like, girl, stop. You should just kill her. Just kill her. I love Regina. I'm a Regina stan, 100%. But, can we not? Why are you trying to protect her because she saved you one time when you were a kid? You don't owe Regina anything. She has tried to make your life miserable for how long, and you want to be like, oh, I'm sorry. And then you want to test her by seeing if she's going to stab you? Of course she's going to stab you. What's wrong with you, girl? You almost executed her. And before she was gonna get killed, her last words were, I hate all y'all, I wish I could have killed more of y'all, and I hate you, Snow White, and my other words, I ain't kill your ass. And then you want to see if she's gonna not kill you? What's wrong with you? What are you thinking right now? She hates you. She despises you. Why would she do anything to help you out? I mean, I don't get this whole thing. I get that they want to be like, oh, Snow White's really good and she wants to be kind. But that's not kindness, that's stupidity. You just put your entire realm in mortal peril for some stupid moral bullshit that isn't even valid for a woman who you know doesn't care about you or care about people. I can't. It was stupid. Talking about Regina, what I love about Regina's character is just as we find out more about her and go back and forth, you see just how screwed up she is. I mean, she does not understand goodness and mercy in other people. You can see it in her face, like, when Snow spares her, like, there's just confusion. It's not even confusion that she's dead, just like, why would she help me? Like, why would she doesn't get it. She doesn't get that people can be good and that people can be kind genuinely, because she's so used to having people have ulterior motives. And why not, when her two biggest mentors were her mother and Rumpelstiltskin? Of course she doesn't see real kindness as being a real thing. And it's really fascinating about her character. And just like I always said, on the one hand, Regina deserves to have a long redemption arc. She shouldn't just get it instantly because she has screwed over so many lives. So of course she should be punished. Of course it should take a while. And of course it should happen. But at the same time, I can't help but kind of be irritated that Rumpelstiltskin is hardly having any sort of redemption arc for his character, and yet he's got Belle. He's got this kind of support system for himself, or Regina has to constantly bend over backwards just to spend time with her own kid. And it's just frustrating because Rumpelstiltskin has been the mastermind of every single plot. And with the thing about Regina too, like, every choice she has made with these two dark people in her life nudging her in one direction or another. Like, Regina's whole strive for power, that's totally Korra. And her magic and using dark magic as a way of getting what she wants, even the whole heart thing, Rumpelstiltskin. Even the last scene of the flashback sequence between her and Rumpelstiltskin is Rumpelstiltskin manipulating her into going to use the curse. It's all this guy. And, as much, and she's trying to do better and her mother's gonna break her down. Everyone wants to use her for their own means. And that's why, at the end of the day, I do like her and pity her as a character, because she just gets used constantly. And, I just find that fascinating about her character. And it's why, but at the same time, I love her as an evil character, On the one hand, I want her to be redeemed. I want her to have a great redemption arc. But on the other hand, I love her kiss of the fake people realness when she was doing that little, confession scene. Just like, oh, fuck all y'all, I hate you. I was like, bloop, bloop, bloop. Get it? Like, it was just awesome because I just love that. Like, I don't care about y'all. Should have killed this bitch when I had the chance. Regina, you have my heart. Like, I just love how pure evil she is in some ways, and how complex she is in other ways. I just love that. Another thing that bothers me is just Rumbelle, which is the Rumpelstiltskin Belle pairing. It's so dry. Like, usually I like these kind of couples because I like these complicated romances, and I love Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast is my favorite. Y'all know I love Belle. This is my girl. You know this. But this relationship is not working for me in the least. I mean, first of all, let's be real. When they go into the shop and they're like, and Belle makes that comment about Regina, like, oh, Regina can never do anything that vile. I'm like, girl, do you know who you date? Do you know who you bunking with? Are you being real right now? Keep your judgment to yourself. Like, stop. And that makes me question how much she actually knows about Rumpelstiltskin as her love interest. Like, does she know how many people he's killed, and he's responsible for the curse, that he did all these horrible things, that he manipulated Regina into becoming the evil queen and broke her down psychologically? Does she know that he beat the crap out of her father just like a couple weeks before? Does she know any of this? And it's like, this is what makes me hate this couple, is because it's like, she doesn't know shit about him. She doesn't know shit about all the things he's done, and yet she will just follow him, and it makes her look stupid. And it's like, on the one hand, I guess she doesn't know yet, but at the same time, it's like, you are defending him against all these people, and yet you don't know anything about what he's done at all. Everyone knows Regina's shit. Everything good about Regina, no one knows. Everything bad about Rumpelstiltskin, everyone knows but you. What? It bothers me. Like, that's why I hate this, that they're Beauty and the Beast, because the Beast was not a murderer, sociopath. Wait, I shouldn't say sociopath because I don't know the actual, wait, take it back. The actual Beast was not a murderer or anything that Rumpelstiltskin is at all. I mean, I love Rumpelstiltskin. He's a great character. He's one of the best characters on the show. But he is not the Beast. The Beast was some bratty 12-year-old kid who got turned into a monster because he told some old lady that her face was stank. Okay? He was a kid who did something bad because he was selfish and spoiled, and he got fucked over for it. He's not this murderer that Rumpelstiltskin. If anything, Rumpelstiltskin would be an excellent Bluebeard. Because that's totally what his character is like. But no, it's this thing that makes no sense. And it just demeans Belle because she just seems so silly. And then she keeps getting kidnapped and abused, and according to like pictures we see for next episode, she's gonna get abused and harassed some more. I don't want to see that. Like, are we really doing this with this character? I just can't do it. Can't do it. And then, let's see, what else did I have to say? Also, about the whole case itself, what I don't understand is they have this memory charm device that can tell people's memories. They use it on the dog. Why don't you just use it on Regina? I mean, she's saying that she didn't do it and no one's there. And you live in a place with magic. Magic is real. There are plenty of people who would frame her, and there's plenty of people who have the ability to, like, it's magic. You live in a magical world. No one can transform into any other person's body or anything like that. No one can transform. Like, why don't you think of these things? It confounds me how closed-minded these people are. Not in terms of, like, because they just hate Regina, but just in terms of, like, you don't think outside the box. I mean, you live in a magical world. You actually talked about collecting fairy dust. Okay? Not even as a drug. Actual abracazum in the room, fairy dust, and you don't think about that magic could be involved in the situation. What's wrong with you people? You're just dumb. You are so dumb. It just frustrates me. That's the biggest thing with Once Upon a Time. The writing is shite. It doesn't know how to tell a concrete story without having all kinds of weird plot holes that legitimately don't make any sense. Like, I don't get why they don't think of these things. And I'm not even saying because, like, I would think of those things, but just, like, you have a memory thing. Why not use it on Regina? She's right there. I don't get it. I don't get it. But anyway, I'm looking forward to what's going on next because as much as I complain, I'm hooked on the show. I like certain characters, so I want to see how their arc goes. I want to see what happens with Mulan next episode. And so I'm looking forward to that. So now let me talk about Lost Girl. Now, if you're outside of Canada, you didn't see the season 3 premiere yet, there are spoilers for the episode, so beware for that. So basically, in this episode 1 of season 3, The Caged Fae, Bo has to go undercover in Hecuba prison, which is an all-female prison guarded by Amazons, who are portrayed as, you know, horrible feminazis. Literally, that's the word that is used. And as soon as they said that, I was kind of like, oh god, here we go. And it's just like, they're wearing, like, these really sexually explicit bodysuits, and they're wearing high heels, and Bo has mascara on in prison. I'm just sitting here just like, what is going on? Like, I was actually really happy when we would go to the inn and see Hale and Kenzie, because, like, the Bo scenes were driving me off the fucking wall. They're trying to find Lauren's mentor, who has suddenly gone missing from the prison, and Lauren's also going undercover with Bo to help her out. And it's just this horrible lesbian stereotypes to in the end. On the one hand, I will say that maybe it's doing some kind of commentary about prison systems and how prisoners can be taken advantage of. And about how female violence does happen, which it does happen, it does occur, and it should be noted that, you know, women can't hurt other women, in lesbian relationships, lesbians can't hurt other lesbians, bisexual women, that kind of stuff. It's all true, that's all valid. But it just doesn't seem like, and so on the one hand, I can say that. But just the way they make the Amazons act is just over the top. I mean, the man-hating stuff about how they leave the kids and they go and marry men and leave their male children to die, that is in the mythology. Okay, I can swallow that. But then they take it to the degree where it's like, they're these raged up, angry women with no sort of moral compass. They just follow their leader blindly. I'm just like, that's not... What are you doing? Like, why do you have to take it to this degree? It just seems so tacky and over the top and ill-placed for a show that tries to be so female-friendly and so gay-friendly. And then, as it goes on, they find out that, like, these women are being impregnated and then being, like, brain mushed and then brought back into the prison so that, you know, Hekiba can keep going, and they're selling the kids. And then you find out that the warden, who's been sexually harassing Bo the entire time, is not an aggressive lesbian. No, she's an aggressive trans woman. And not only that, but they figure out that she is transgender in, like, the most offensive way possible. Like, literally, Bo kisses her saying she has too much stubble, and then one of the Amazons goes and grabs her by the crotch, and then they start screaming at her and dragging her off as she says, "I'm one of you, I'm an Amazon." So literally, you have a trans woman about to go be killed by a group of women for not being a real woman. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, just me saying it out loud, it just sounds so disgusting. Like, that's 100% transphobic. Like, how do you write this scenario and not think to yourself, oh wait, that sounds kind of bad, maybe we should rethink this? And I just found out, one of my friends was telling me that in Canada they're having this whole issue about if trans women could use women washrooms. And with that going on, I can't help thinking, like, why would you write a story like this that's so rude and disrespectful? It's so transphobic to the point where it just fucked up the whole episode for me. Like, I don't even care that there was a Doccubus kiss. I mean, when I first watched it, I was kind of excited, but then just keep thinking about it, it just makes me even more mad. Because I'm just like, yes, you have a lesbian couple, that's great. You have a bisexual character, that's great. You have had, you know, semi-decent gay couples, that's great. But now you're doing it completely transphobic? No, you don't get to be gay-friendly and be transphobic. I'm sorry. No, you can't have it both ways. And I mean, like, it's great that you have lesbian experience, but transgenders get fucked over so much, even in their own community, that I'm just like, no, you can't do this. Even though I liked, you know, scenes with Bo and Kenzie, I liked stuff with Bo and Lauren, even though I liked the fact that Hale's now the new Ash, this finally gets him in a position of authority. He's not just a sidekick anymore, he's actually in charge of shit, and that's great, because he's just been a token black for a while, and I hope that he and Kenzie get together and it's not Dyson and Kenzie, because that'll make me really upset. But still, the transphobia in this episode, plus the really fucked up way they were viewing the female Amazon characters, just really set this season off for me in a really bad note. Like, that's disgusting. It's completely transphobic, and I don't know why you would do that. And it's like, there's no reason for it. There was literally no reason why that was put in there besides shock value. Literally, like, there was no other reason. Shock value and poor writing. It was horrible, it was disgusting, it's a horrible way to set up this season. It's a horrible way to set it off, and I did not like it at all. And it was just disrespectful, and I'm really disappointed. I really am. And I hope the next week's episode is better, because I don't think I can handle it if they keep doing this kind of shit every episode. Like, it was gross. And hopefully, you know, it'll get back in the game. Because I do love Lost Girl. It's my guilty pleasure show. I can watch it and have a great time. I love most of the characters, but this was just really fucked up. And I'm unhappy about it. And I'm really disappointed that people that I saw weren't really talking about it. I mean, like, they're always talking about Doccubus, which I love Lauren and Bo. I'm glad they're together, but it doesn't make what just happened okay.